What's going on, Dolphins fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I got some pretty big news today. The Dolphins have reportedly executed a trade with the Texans, the Houston Texans, but it is not a monster Deshaun Watson for Tua and a bunch of picks. There is a different trade that was done, so let's go ahead and get into that. So, let's see. Report, Shaq Lawson traded to the Texans from Dolphins for Benardrick McKinney. Okay, the Houston Texans and Miami Dolphins are swapping linebackers per ESPN's Adam Schefter. Houston sent linebacker Benardrick McKinney to Miami in exchange for Shaq Lawson on Sunday, said Schefter, who added that the transaction also includes late-round draft picks, that though the focus is the linebackers. Okay, so we're going to pause because there's definitely some analysis here. So, first of all, obviously the Dolphins need and are wanting to improve their linebacking unit. That's a fact. They need to do that. They also need to clear cap space. And so, Shaq Lawson was another one of those big name guys in free agency that they had to that they just had to bring in, right? He's also another never mind. I was going to say he's another Brian Flores guy, but Shaq Lawson, I think, played in Buffalo. Anyway, whatever, not the point. But anyway, it was another, one of those big name free agent guys that they just had to bring in. So now they've already, from last offseason, they've already gotten rid of Jordan Howard, Kyle Van Noy, and now Shaq Lawson. Okay, so their big spending spree last season, how's that really going? Right? And then, of course, Shaq Lawson was just all right throughout the season. So the point there is again, another one of the guys that they were supposed to bring in and paid a pretty sizable contract to be here for a while is no longer here. They do need to upgrade at that position, but they also need more bodies that are going to be able to play at a high level, consistently high level. And so they needed to add to the unit more than they needed to swap guys. Anyway, real quick side note, running back Aaron Jones did re-sign with the Packers. I just wanted to make sure to throw that in there. So he will not be going to the Dolphins. That was one of the big free agents that's been linked to the Dolphins. Per Aaron Wilson of the Houston Chronicle, the Texans also secured their sixth round pick for the 2021 draft, taking over Miami's in exchange for their 7th round selection. So when it comes to the picks, we downgraded, right? So when it comes to the picks, we got a 7th, they got a 6th, which, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, is not really surprising. The Dolphins, especially under Stephen Ross, but also for sure under this regime, they're just not good, man. They're just not good. They get beat in their trades all the time. It's pretty sad, to be honest with you. We'll have to see how well the Benardrick McKinney Shaq Lawson swap goes, but it's just as far as the picks go. If that's accurate, they get a 6th round pick from this year. They're late round picks, to be sure, and certainly less important, but we downgraded in our picks. And it's not a guarantee that McKinney is going to be an upgrade to this unit. Anyway, McKinney was reportedly among the catalysts for the transaction since he received permission from Houston to explore trade options over the last few days. According to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network, though he was limited in 2020, his desire to move on may be another sign of a systemic issue in Houston. Which obviously Houston has had fucking problems, but a lot of these players are going to realize pretty fast, if they don't realize it already, that a lot of the same issues that Houston is having, the systemic issues, are present in every NFL organization because of the fact that not only are all the owners racist pieces of shit, but they're also capitalist pieces of shit. So literally the only thing they care about is their money. That's it. I don't know why that's a surprise to anybody. So, they're going to find out one way or the other that every organization is exactly the same. And at least in that regard, J.J. Watt requested his release from the team, going on to sign with the Arizona Cardinals, and quarterback Deshaun Watson has expressed his wishes for a trade throughout the offseason, though the Texans aren't giving in. They're not giving in yet. I'm telling you, man, they're not going to be... If Deshaun Watson does not suit up and play for them at all this year, and they were to keep him on the roster and not trade him, I mean, it's gonna be devastating, especially with the way that they are bleeding, players and stuff. I mean, at this point, I've been saying this for years. Bill O'Brien was driving the Texans into the fucking ground, and obviously, the last straw was seen when he became GM and traded away Hopkins and so on and so forth. But I've been telling people this for years. He's been driving him into the dirt, and he did it so bad at this point that now they pretty much have to hit a hard reset because, there's just so many players and stuff with bad tastes in their mouth, right? And of course, it's not just how Bill O'Brien built the team and the culture he set and stuff like that, or not just how he built the team, but also the culture and stuff that was set. Anyway, McKinney appeared in 4 games last season before he was moved to injured reserve and underwent shoulder surgery. So he's got injury concerns, which doesn't help the situation. The Mississippi State product, a second-round pick by Houston in 2015, had a Pro Bowl season in 2018. He broke up 7 passes and tallied 105 tackles, tallying his only career interception. So he had one good year. That's an upside, but, not a lot. In 14 games in 2019, McKinney had 3 pass breakups and 104 tackles. I mean, Lawson, a first-round pick out of Clemson by the Buffalo Bills in 2016, made 7 starts for the Dolphins in 2020 with 32 tackles and 4 sacks in addition to a fumble recovery that he ran for a touchdown. He is the second addition to the position for the Texans so far this season. Whatever, I don't care about that. So, there it is. The Dolphins have executed the trade. I mean, to be honest, as of right now, I'm personally somewhat indifferent about it, although I lean towards not quite liking it at this point for a number of reasons. Some general, and I'll, this is kind of how I'll wrap it up, right? So just to kind of summarize, some general reasons, right? Like, I don't trust this organization. I don't think that it's not thinking. It's obvious and it's clear. There's clear evidence for it. They're terrible at their player evaluation, right? There's not a single player on this roster who you can say is a long-term staple. Not one. Not one. I don't care who it is, and I don't care what argument you try and make. There's not a single player on this roster that you can say will be a long-term staple of this team that will help provide them with the long-term success. They're terrible with not just players, but also coaches. There's been so much inconsistency. There's been no chemistry built. The culture, I think, is terrible, right? So there's lots of reasons. Also, when it comes to then you add in the fact that, Shaq Lawson just becomes another, added to the list of failures. It just becomes another point of approval that being big spenders in free agency is not the way to go, and so here we are. But, there are some upsides, I guess. Some cap space does get cleared. You are technically getting rid of now a guy who didn't prove to be what you were hoping to be, but again, that's why you shouldn't have signed him to begin with. McKinney has some injury concerns. Obviously, he didn't play like almost at all last year, right? His production is just kind of So, I mean, and then when it comes to the picks that we traded, we actually downgraded. We went from a 6th to a 7th. So, if I'm being honest, indifferent is probably the best I could say I feel about this. Overall, it just is yet another, just another point of data that shows that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And it seems pretty clear to me, though, that they're taking pretty strict orders from Stephen Ross. When I say that, I don't necessarily mean Stephen Ross is giving, is telling them what to do with every little detail, right? I don't think he's micromanaging necessarily every transaction or player brought in, so on and so forth. But I think that he has given them, a blueprint, a basic idea of what he wants, right? That's why he insisted that they tank 2019, etc. And I feel pretty confident that should the Texans break, right, and Deshaun Watson become available, I have little to no doubt that the Dolphins will be the winners in that trade, right? They'll be the ones that go after him, have the biggest package, and can fucking land him. I don't think it's going to work out for them if that is what ends up happening, but I find that to have an extremely high probability. Anyway, real quick, I also want to mention the Dolphins are not tendering wide receiver Isaiah Ford as a restricted free agent, and he will hit the market. So they are going to let the wide receiver core get, even worse. I mean, they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. Anyway, that's what I got for you. I just wanted to get you guys that news of the trade. If there's anything else, and obviously let you know about Aaron Rodgers, because I know a lot of people, or Aaron Jones, excuse me, because a lot of people were looking into that. Then I noticed the Isaiah Ford thing too. So just wanted to get you guys out this information. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.